In today's video, I'm going to show you the first upgrade you should make to your kit that'll have you taking professional photos in no time at all. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jack Beck and I want to help you guys become better photographers. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And as always, you can find all of my photography over on Instagram at JackBeck360. Okay, so you got your new camera and you're starting to get used to it. You're getting familiar with all the buttons and you've actually taken some decent photos with that kit lens that comes with the camera. So let's talk about that lens for a minute. Most cameras come packaged with an 18 to 55mm zoom lens or something similar based on the model of the camera or the brand. They package this lens in with cameras mainly because of the wide range. At 18mm, it's going to be wide open, you're going to be able to shoot cityscapes or mountains, and at 55mm, you're going to be able to zoom in pretty close to your subject. This lens is decent, but it has some issues, mainly being the aperture. They only go down to around 3.5. If you're not familiar with aperture, that's the amount of light that travels through the lens to the sensor. This is measured in f-stops and can be adjusted on the camera by holding down the aperture button and rolling the dial on the top of the camera until you get the proper exposure. Lenses have blades inside of them. When you set it to a lower f-stop number, those blades open wider, letting in more light. When you set it to a higher f-stop number, those blades close, letting less light through. Aperture also affects depth of field. The lower the f-stop number, the better bokeh effect you're going to get. If you don't know what that is, that's when you get the nice sharp subject and the background's blurred out. Makes the subject really stand out from the background. The kit lens can only go down to 3.5, and because of that, you're not going to get the best bokeh effect. And that's the same with low light or night photography. It's not going to be the best, and it's also not the sharpest lens you can get. But that brings us to the purpose of today's video. Now the very first lens I think you should upgrade to fix all these problems is the Canon 50mm f1.8 prime lens, also known in photography as the Nifty 50. This lens is going to automatically up your photography and have you looking like a pro in no time. It's super sharp because it's a prime lens. What that means is there's no zoom, it's set at one focal length. This particular lens, 50mm. The other thing about this lens, the aperture goes all the way down to f1.8. That's going to let in a ton of light because those blades are going to be wide open. That's going to make this good for low light photography or shooting at night. That low aperture also makes this lens a beast at product or portrait photography. It's going to separate that subject, they're going to be nice and sharp, you're going to get that smooth buttery background, and they're going to be completely separated from that. As you can see, it's pretty small and lightweight. It comes in at 159 grams. It's mainly made of plastic, but it's pretty durable, and it does have that metal mount, so you don't have to worry about it snapping off the camera. Another awesome thing that I just learned about this lens, if you have very small things that you want to take a picture of, you can actually set your camera up on a tripod and aim it at that subject. Take this lens off, flip it around, hold it on the camera, and you have yourself a macro lens that's going to get all those little details perfect. That's pretty cool. I'm going to try that out soon. But you want to know what the absolute best thing about this lens is? You can get this lens brand new for $125. In my opinion, that's pound for pound the best deal in all of photography, and it's going to be great for people looking to take that next step. Now, like I said, this is a prime lens. It only shoots at 50mm. You're not going to be able to zoom in and out like you are with that lens that came with your camera. This is going to make you think about the shot more, and sometimes you're physically going to have to move to get whatever you're taking a photo of in the frame. And don't forget, if you're using a camera that has a crop sensor, there is going to be a zoom factor like we talked about in the last video. If you haven't checked out that video, you can check it out. I'll put the link right up here somewhere. I never got to do that before. Now, because of that 1.6 zoom factor on crop sensor cameras, this lens is going to actually be more like 80 millimeters. And sometimes, say when you're downtown doing photography of architecture or other buildings, you're just going to be too close and you're not going to be able to get the photo. But I do have a solution to that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Because this lens is so inexpensive, it doesn't have image stabilization, so make sure you focus on holding that camera steady or setting your camera up on a tripod and you're going to do just fine. And I really wouldn't take this lens out in rain or snow, but I do. If it breaks, it breaks. I'm just going to buy another one. I love it so much. I immediately noticed the quality of my photos rose once I started using this lens. That's because of the sharpness in the prime lenses. I wanted to be able to shoot wider though and keep that sharpness. I like the Nifty 50 so much that I went ahead and purchased his little brother Canon's 24mm f2.8 prime Pancake Lens. It's called the Pancake Lens because it's flat like a pancake. It's actually the lens that we're shooting this on right now. It has almost all the same features as this, except it only goes down to f2.8, which is still really good. And you can find this lens for about $129, which is just as good of a deal that this one is. These two lenses have greatly improved the quality of my photos, and they will for you too if you guys decide to pick them up yourselves. That 24mm and 50mm focal range is basically going to cover what your kit lens is going to do, but your pictures are going to be way sharper. If this video helped you guys out, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, hammer that like and subscribe button. It really does help this channel grow. And make sure you hit that bell so you always know every time I upload new videos to the channel. You can also follow me over on Twitch at JackSavage095 if you want to live chat or just hang out. And now it's time for the comment of the week. This week's comment comes in from Brian This week's comment comes in from Brian S. He said, "Great video, man. I was so confused about the difference between DSLR and mirrorless when I bought my camera. You explained it very well here. Keep the videos coming." Thank you, Brian, for the kind words. I'm just glad I can give you guys a little bit of value in these videos. And I think that's about it for this week. I still haven't figured out how to end it yet. We're still working on that, but I got a couple ideas. I guess thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.